Yes, Suleiman, Priyanka, Aman, how are you guys doing?
Good
Everyone good?
evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, good evening. All right, how are you guys doing?
Good, sir. How are you?
All right, all right. So, yeah, I'm also good. So, let us start the class, and we have been meeting after a while, right? Okay. So, in our previous classes, we were learning about this, we were doing this chapter, transportation in plants and animals. Today, we'll be concluding this chapter. All right, now. And after this, we'll be discussing, once we'll be done with this chapter, we will discuss which chapter we would be doing next in the batch. Okay, no? Yes, Suleiman and Aman, how are you guys doing? First of all of you, turn your cameras on in the class. Make yourself visible. I guess I'm perfectly audible to everyone, and my screen is visible to everyone. Okay. Yeah, Suleiman, Aman, particularly you guys, please respond in the class and be active in the class.
Sir, can you see me?
Yeah, you are visible and audible as well. Aman and Suleiman, yes, you guys. Okay, so without any further ado, let us start the class. All right, so far we have discussed several things in the chapter. Today we'll be starting from this topic of dialysis. Okay, now? By the way, Suleiman, from your syllabus, your exam is going to be on 26th of September. And for you, the first three chapters, we have finished that. Right now? Three chapters are left for you to be discussed. Acid, bases, and salts, physical and chemical changes, and forest our lifeline. Okay, now? So accordingly, those chapters will be we will have a look into it. Which chapter we'll be discussing next. All right, no? Okay, Abu Bakr is also here. Why everyone is joining late in the class today? All right. So without any further ado, let us start the class. Yes, Abu Bakr, how are you? By the way, everyone try to join the class at least 2 minutes earlier. Okay, no?
Sir,
Yeah, Priyanka?
actually, here in Tamil Nadu, it's like raining,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't have enough current, so my battery is.
Okay, okay. Then you can switch off your camera then. Okay, now if that's the case, then switch off your camera in
No,
order to
it's
save the
like
battery.
maybe sometime it would be like switch off. So,
Okay. Oh, okay, Sulman, that's the case. Okay, I got it. All right, guys. So let us start the class and continue from where we left. Yeah, someone had to say something.
Sir, I cannot on my camera because uh, sir, we are low on data.
Okay, okay, okay. No worries then. Let us continue the class. Okay, I understand that, and that happens sometimes. Okay. So today we would be discussing about this dialysis. In the previous class, we have had learned about the excretory system in the human beings particularly and in the animals also. There, just let me give you a quick revision of the topics which we have learned. We were learning about excretory system in the human beings, right? We learned that it's a system of organs in living organisms that performs the function of excretion. The main excretory organ in the human body is kidney, right? But we have other excretory other waste also produced in our body apart from urine, right? Now, although the major product in the humans is urea and stool, the liquid waste and the solid waste. But apart from that, there are waste like carbon dioxide and sweat also, that also has to be removed via the skin. So skin is also considered as a excretory organ. Getting it, guys? But if someone were to ask you what is the main excretory organ, it's your kidneys. Getting it right now? So the apart from so in the human body, we see that there will be a pair of organ or two organs called kidneys present in your body. Where it is present? It is present right below your rib cage. Getting it? Apart from kidney, we have other important structures in it. Like we have Urinary bladder, we have ureters. Getting it? You have ureters and we have the urethra. We did learn about kidney that they contain a good amount of blood capillaries. The blood capillaries would be filtering out the unwanted substances from the blood in the form of urine. And I did also told you that there are some tiny filtering units present in your kidney that are called as nephrons. You guys remember about this nephron and EPHR1? That's the filtering unit of kidney. Okay, now? In fact, you guys saw an image of this also, of this nephron, I think. Yeah, Fatima, how are you?
I'm fine, sir.
Okay, please try to join the class on the given time. Okay. So we did learn about the function of kidney and we did learn about the function of ureter. So ureter would be simply carrying the urine filtered out from the blood via the kidney to the urinary bladder. Right now, it brings the urine from kidney to the urinary bladder. So urinary bladder, its function would be to temporarily store the urine. It would be temporarily storing the urine. Getting it now? Then we did learn about urethra. It's basically a opening of the urinary bladder. It's an opening. It's a small tube-like structure via which the urine would be passing further. Getting it? So that is something which we learned about the human excretory system, and we did learn about that different organisms would be excreting different waste. The major excretory product in the human is urea. That's urea now. Look over here. We did learn about this. So most of the mammals, we humans are mammals now. So most of the mammals, their major excretory product is urea, urea. That is urea. And urea consists of so many toxic waste also. Getting it? We did learn about the composition of urea, right? So there we learned that it would be containing about 94 to 95% of water in it. Getting it? So almost 94 to 95% water will be found in the urea. 1 minute. Yeah. So talking about composition of urea, there we learned that about 94 to 95% is water, right? Apart from that, there would be some toxic waste also. So about 2.5% is toxic waste. Getting it, Fatima, Priyanka, everyone, right? And there would be
Sir,
almost
could you write
about
this?
I will be providing the PPT, so don't worry about that. Okay, now just pay attention to the class. So about 2.5% would be urea. That would be urea. So that's the composition. So the major composition of the urea, which is a major excretory product in the case of mammals, in the case of we humans, so that is urea. And the composition of urea is 94 to 95%. Water is present in it. 2.5% is toxic waste and 2.5% is urea in it. Got this, everyone? Getting it? So the liquid waste that is secreted by we humans or other mammals like goats or camels or this elephant, that would contain a good amount of urea in it. So it's the main waste, right? Now it's the main waste of the mammals. Then we did learn about birds and we did learn about fishes also, right? Now so we did learn about that also. We did learn that fishes, which are the aquatic animals, would be excreting ammonia in the water. That would be excreting ammonia in the water. And then we have examples of birds. Birds. We have examples of snakes, birds or snakes. Or we have the example of lizards also. So all of them would be excreting a semi-solid waste that would be usually many times white in color. That is uric acid. Getting it, guys? That is usually white in color. So the reason why the poop of the birds or the poop of the many times lizards would be white in color, it is because of high concentration of uric acid in their waste. All of you understood this now? So we did revise that thing. Okay, that's really important. And the color of the urine will also indicate whether a person is suffering from dehydration or not. Right now, so if a person is dehydrated, the color of the urine would be usually dark yellow to oranges, indicating that he is suffering from dehydration. So from today, we would be learning about another important concept, that is dialysis. So you all would have seen, known some person who would have a kidney failure and then they have to go through dialysis. So let us learn about what this dialysis is. So dialysis is, it's a basically a procedure that would be done to remove the waste materials, toxic materials toxic materials from the blood. So naturally, this function of removing toxic materials from the blood is done by the kidney now. First of all of you whose network connection is good, who can turn their cameras on, please turn your cameras on in the class. It's a class now, so make sure that you guys have turned your cameras on.
Sir, I have connected hotspot.
I'm not referring to you, actually. You did mention your issue, Priyanka. I'm talking to others, those who can turn their cameras on in the class, okay? And it's a guideline that all of you have to follow, and it's been told to me as well from the Learnivio team that I should be informing you guys about this. Anyways, talking about dialysis, what I said that naturally the function of purifying your blood, removing toxic waste from the blood, it is being done by removal of toxics, removal of urea from the blood. It is done by which organ? Hello. You guys there in the class? Yes, Abu Bakr, Priyanka, Fatima, Aman.
Repeat the question again?
Yeah, my question was that naturally, which organ removes toxic waste from the blood?
Sir,
Didn't we
sir,
learn about?
is it kidney?
Yeah, obviously it's kidney now.
Yeah, kidney.
That's a one word simple answer. So why you guys are taking this much of time?
No,
Pay
sir, I
close.
knew the answer, but I was
Okay,
like still confused.
okay. So basically, naturally, if our kidneys are healthy, so they would be able to remove the excess water from the blood, toxic substances from the blood, and other waste products from the blood would be removed by the kidney. But sometime what happens, the kidney of the person would be failing. Ever wondered, ever thought about this question, that why kidney of some people fails to perform its function? Huh? So particularly the two main causes, main reason for kidney failure is if a person is suffering from diabetes for a very long period of time. If his diabetes is not in under control, or if the person is suffering from high blood pressure, so that makes up about 70 to 80% of reason for kidney failure. So about 70 to 80% of the people who suffer from kidney failure, they would be diabetic and they would be suffering from hypertension, high blood pressure. Getting it, guys? This is the main two cause for kidney failure. Anyways, talking about dialysis, so dialysis would be the procedure that would be giving treatment to those peoples whose kidney have failed. So via this machine, what it would be doing, like this, you can see this person is connected to this machine called as um, hemodialyzer machine. Okay, now this is called as hemodialyzer machine. That's the name of this machine. That is functioning, performing the function of kidney. So that would remove excess amount of water, toxic substances, and other waste materials from the blood. Getting it? So that is the thing. Okay, one of you please read the given paragraph. This one.
Sir, can I read?
Yeah.
Dialysis is a medical procedure used to remove waste product and excess fluid from the body when the kidneys cannot do so accurately.
Adequately.
Adequately. This process is carried out using a machine that filters the blood and helps maintain the balance of electrolytes and fluids in the
Electrolytes.
electrolytes
Electrolytes.
electrolytes and fluids in the body. Dialysis is a vital option for people with chronic kidney failure as it allows them to maintain an acceptable quality of life awaiting a kidney transplant or as a long-term treatment.
Okay. So what Fatima just read here, that it's a medical procedure done to remove the toxic waste products and extra water from the blood when the kidneys can't do it efficiently. So this would be carried out using this machine that is called as hemodialyzer. The machine that you saw in the earlier picture, that machine is called as a hemodialyzer. So that would be functioning the doing the function of kidneys, right? Furthermore, it also maintains the balance of important minerals and salts in the blood. So the food that we are eating, the water that you are drinking, that contains minerals and salts that are important from the body. So it is important that this machine does not removes the important minerals and salts from the body. Otherwise, your body would be suffering from certain diseases. So minerals and salts are also important from the body. So this will maintain a good amount of minerals and salts in your body. Minerals and salts, basically, they are electrolytes. Okay, they are called as electrolytes. Okay. So it filters the waste material from the blood and also maintains the balance of important minerals and salts. It's not like it will um, filter out the important minerals and salts from the blood. In that case, the person would be suffering from certain diseases. This point is clear about electrolytes to everyone or not? You guys there in the class? Yes?
Sir,
Yeah.
could you like explain it again?
Yeah, sure. What I say that, see, if there is extra amount of fluid in the blood, fluid, basically I'm talking here particularly about water, so that water needs to be removed, and minerals and salts would be dissolved in the water. No, different kind of minerals. Iron is a mineral, calcium is a mineral, magnesium is a mineral, important salts are there in the blood. So that is important from the body. So this machine will not remove all those important minerals from the blood. It will maintain the a good amount of minerals and salts into your blood. It will be only filtering out the waste materials and excess water from the blood. It will maintain the amount of minerals and salts in the blood. It will not filter out those important minerals and salts because it is important for your body, for the immune system. Getting it now? So that is what I meant to say here. Furthermore, it's a vital option. Vital means very important. So it's a very important option for those people who are suffering from kidney failure right now. So, or if they are waiting for a kidney transplant. Okay, now if someone hasn't, uh, if their kidneys are not transplanted and they are looking for a kidney donor. Okay, now they are looking for a kidney donor. So in that case, they will have to go through dialysis till they get a kidney transplant done. Right now. So that is the thing which we have learned. So hope dialysis is clear to everyone. If anyone has any questions regarding that, please let me know. The next topic that we'll be discussing about is sweat and how it is important for our body. So as in the previous classes, we have learned that there are glands present in your under the skin called as sweat gland. There are glands called as sweat gland. Okay, now. So this one, that this coiled structure that you see over here, what are they? They are sweat glands. So sweat glands would be secreting the water right now. It would secrete water via the pores. So water will come out of this, extra amount of water will come out via the pore. So say that these are the water. Now we know that sweat will keep your body cool. So as the water from your skin would be evaporating, so it would make your skin cooler. Right now.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, sweat also helps us to get rid of excess water and salt.
To get after that, what you say? To get
Sir, rid of excess water and salt.
Exactly, to get rid of extra water and salt. Right now, so that is also one thing. Getting it? So it kind of is removing extra toxins from your body. It lowers down the temperature of the body. It also is important for healthy skin. So it makes your skin healthier also. Getting it right now? So that is the way in which it would be helping. Aman, please read the given paragraph. Yes, or anyone else would like to read the given paragraph quickly? Read this paragraph. Yeah.
Sweat is mainly water, but it also contains some salts. Its main function is to control body temperature as the water in the sweat evaporates and the surface of the skin cools. An additional function of sweat is to help with gripping by slightly moistening the palm.
Right. So the main function is to control the temperature of the body. Like when in the summer season, if you are sweating too much, so thereby if you were to sit under a fan or a air conditioner, you will feel more cold. You will feel colder because as the sweat evaporates, it will um, cool down the body. Another help of the sweating is that it would be getting it if there are extra salts or toxins under the skin, toxic substances, so it gets the body rid of those toxic substances and extra salts as well. Another thing is that it helps in gripping also. By making your palm a little bit moist, it improves the gripping. Getting it now? So that is one thing. The green structure that you see over here, that is the sweat gland. Okay, now that is the sweat gland. So that is something which we have learned. All right. Apart from this, if you guys remember, we have learned about the oil gland also. That is the sebaceous gland. We did learn about that also. That would be secreting oil called as sebum. Right? We did learn about that. So here that topic has been finished. Next, we would be learning about the transportation in plants. Okay, now so talking about transportation in plants. See, the thing is that the roots of the plants would be absorbing the essential minerals, essential salts from the water right now. So between the soil particles, if there is enough space between the soil particles, so air molecules would be trapped between those particles and water will also seep into those empty spaces. So water seeps into those empty spaces between the soil particles and air molecule also gets trapped, right? So if you were to look at the root of the trees, so roots are further divided into root hairs. Those are very tiny roots having a very thin diameter. Okay, now
Sir, I can't hear you.
Sir,
Sir,
I want to hear you.
sir, you're not audible and your screen is
Yeah, sorry for the interruption. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So, was I audible while we were discussing this topic about this?
No, sir.
No? Oh, sorry about that. Okay, I didn't notice that. Okay, see, we were learning about sweat gland. Okay, no? So there we did learn, and we were learning about how it is important and helpful for the body. So we learned that the sweat that comes out from the skin in the form of blood that contains water and that contains some toxic substances. So this water would be this droplet would be containing water, it would be containing salt, and would be containing some toxic substances also, right? So it gets us rid from that extra water, salt, and toxic substances. Apart from that, it also helps to cool down the body, and it also improves our gripping as our palm gets moist. So that helps in increasing the gripping, right? Especially during the summer days, you'd be sweating more, right now. Especially during the summer season, you'd be evaporating more, sweating more, right? And that gives off sensation of cooling. Then we started this topic about transportation in plants and in plants. So thereby would be learning about transportation of water and minerals particularly. So I was discussing about this. There we learned that between the soil particles there are empty spaces. Between the soil particles there are empty spaces in which air molecules would be trapped and water also is trapped into those empty spaces. And as we know, the roots of the plants have root hairs. They are tiny root hairs. These are the root hairs. Okay, so far it is clear. So what happens? Via the procedure of diffusion, there will be transfer of particles from a region of higher concentration where it is available in high quantity, higher concentration, to an area of low concentration where the particles are in less amount. So say that the water molecules are in less amount inside the root hairs, but outside the root hair, there's abundant amount of water present. So there will be movement of water into the root hairs via diffusion. Getting it, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Furthermore, via diffusion, air will also enter inside the root hair because outside the root hair there's a good amount of air molecules, but inside the root hair there is very less amount of air molecules. So via diffusion, difference in their concentration, the air would be moving inside the root hair. It would be moving inside the root hair, right? So what happens? Along with water, water would contain important minerals and salts also, no? Isn't it? It will contain important minerals plus salts, right, Aman? So what the roots would be taking important minerals and salts also from the water. So from the roots, the water and minerals and salts would be taken up and it would be transported to different parts, to different tissues. So it would be transported to different tissues of the plants via some special tissue which we are going to learn in a moment, right? So what we have learned that roots have hair-like structures. Roots have hair-like structures. What do we call them as? We're talking about root hair.
Root hair.
Right. And this root hair increases the surface area for absorption. It increases the surface area. So there's a lot of tiny root hairs and that increases the surface area. So more the root hairs, more will be the absorption of water and air molecules. Getting it, guys? So it increases the surface area and it would be taking in air, water, plus minerals and salts. Got this, guys, so far now? All right. Now from the root hairs, as a moments ago I did told you that the water will go to the different parts of the plants. So water goes to different parts or different parts. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So water goes to different parts of the plants via special tissues. Via some special tissues, which we are going to learn in a moment. Have a look at this image over here. So in this, there are some special tube-like structures. The first one is called a xylem. This structure that you see, that would be particularly responsible for carrying water. So this is a tube-like structure present in the form of bundles. You guys understand a bundle of something like this, 1, 2, 3. You have a bundle of a stick, you have a bundle of hockey, like that. Okay, no? So they would be present in bundles. So we have just taken a single piece of that xylem tissue. Okay. Here you are seeing just a single tube-like structure. Okay. So in the plants, there would be some special tissues that would be responsible for carrying water, and there will be some tissues that would be responsible for carrying food also. Getting it so far? And they are called as vascular tissues. What do we call them as? Vascular tissues. And the vascular tissues are particularly made up of xylem and phloem. Okay, now xylem and phloem. Now talking about the xylem, the first image, the first tube-like structure that you see over here, this xylem would be particularly carrying the water. Okay, na? And water has got dissolved nutrients. Try to understand in this manner. The fertilizers that you are adding to the soil. Getting it, guys? The fertilizers are adding the essential nutrients to the soil now, isn't it? Hello. The fertilizers are providing important nutrients to the soil now, right?
Yes, sir.
And you have to constantly water the plant every day so that plants would be able to absorb those nutrients like magnesium, calcium, iron, phosphorus, or potassium. All that minerals will be absorbed by the plants via the water, would be taken up by the plant when you would be watering the plant on a regular basis, because all this mineral gets dissolved into water. So the root hairs would be containing these tube-like structures. The root hairs, the roots have got this xylem present in them. So actually the flow of water will be happening inside the xylem now, right? Isn't it? And where this xylem will be present, it will be present in the roots. Keep that in mind. Only in the roots, not in the stems. So the xylem, which is a special tissue, it's a vascular tissue, would be responsible for transporting the water, and water would be containing important nutrients, and it would be containing salts as well. So in this you can include salts as well. So important minerals and salts via the water would be transported into the xylem. And the we see that it would be the flow. Look at the flow of the water. It would be happening in just one direction, in a unidirection, only in the upward direction. Getting at what I'm trying to say? So the movement of water would be happening in the upward direction and just in one direction. Getting it so far? Okay. Now furthermore, there's a very important role of transpiration in this. In the upward flow of water in the xylem, there's a very important role of transpiration. See, as the water evaporates, as the water would be evaporating from the surface of the leaves, it would create an upward pull, or a suction pull would be created. Try to understand it in this manner. See, as the water would be evaporating from the surface of the leaves via the transpiration. You know, inside the leaves, we have got stomatal pores, right? So via the stomatal pores, what happens? The water vapor is lost. Water in the form of water vapor via the stomatal pores is lost. And particularly during the day, as the sun is present, so at that time the rate of loss of this water vapor increases due to high temperature. So this continuous evaporation of water from the surface of the leaves creates an upward pull, that is called as suction pull. You guys understand this term, suction pull, right? So as the water would be evaporating continuously from the surface of the leaves, it creates an upward pull. You know, na, pull and push, two kind of forces. Force is basically push and pull. So an upward force or a suction pull is created due to continuous loss of water from the surface of the leaves. So due to that suction pull, the water would be constantly traveling in the upward direction. So you yourself think about this. The flow of water is taking place against the gravity now, because gravity is a force that would be pulling everything towards the ground, towards the earth, isn't it, guys? And here the force, the flow of water is taking place against the gravity. So there must be some reason behind this. So that reason is the suction pull created due to transpiration. Is that thing clear to everyone or not? Please let me know.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, okay, that's great. So we were talking about this xylem, right? So did learn that the xylem, it's a vascular tissue, and talking about its function is to carry water in a unidirection, or carry water unidirectionally. Carry water unidirectionally, and in bracket we can say in the upward direction only, right? So we know that what basically happened. Root.
But are we supposed to write this?
No, no, not right now. I would be providing the PPT for all this. Okay, no need to worry about that. So the cells present in the root here. So root cells would be absorbing the water via diffusion, right? Via diffusion, the cells of the root hairs would be absorbing the water. So root cells absorbs water, right? And this absorbed water goes into the xylem, isn't it? And xylem will be carrying it to parts of the plants in the upward direction. So far it is clear. Then right next to the xylem we have phloem also. So phloem is another vascular tissue, but its function is to carry the food. And where does the production of food takes place? In the leaves now. So in the process of photosynthesis, what we have learned that glucose would be prepared in the process of photosynthesis. So you guys tell me, the requirement of food, the requirement of energy is so roots also require the energy now to carry out its function. So it also requires the food. So the flow of food, the movement of the food should be happening in the upward direction, in the downward direction, in the sideways as well now. The food should be moving in the upward direction, in the downward, and in the left and right direction also, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Right? So thereby this phloem, which is another vascular tissue, it would be carrying the food in all the directions, towards the roots also and towards the shoot system of the plant as well. So hope you guys have got this much so far. So its main function of this phloem is it carries, its function is to carry food prepared in the process of photosynthesis to all parts of the plant, to all parts of plants, right now. And its flow would be bidirectional, right now. This flow would be bidirectional, meaning it will be in the upward direction, in the downward direction as well. So the flow is bidirectional. Okay, that is bidirectional. Is that much clear so far?
Yes, sir.
So hope you guys have got it so far. If anyone has any questions so far, please let me know. If someone have a question in this, please let me know. Aman, you got it. Priyanka, everyone.
Yes, sir.
Just let me connect from my computer as well. There was another thing which I had to say you guys in this thing. See, this movement of food, prepared in the process of photosynthesis, that is also called as translocation. So this movement of food and other materials, the movement of materials from basically the materials from the leaves to other parts of the plants, that would be happening in the phloem, that is called as translocation. What do we call this as? Translocation. So let me write that term as well. That is translocation. Or just let me take a new page. Translocation. So translocation would be simply the movement of food from the leaves to different parts of the plants, right? That food would contain sugar. It would mainly contain sugar, right now. So it's the movement of food materials from the leaves to different parts of plants. So I believe so far it should be clear, right now. And this translocation would be happening in the xylem or phloem. It would be happening in xylem or phloem. Tell me. Yes. This translocation would be happening via the xylem or the phloem. Please let me know. Guys, am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
What are we saying? That this simply the movement of the food prepared in the process of photosynthesis to different parts of the plant, it is called as translocation. Nothing too technical about it. It's just a term. The movement of the food materials that would be mainly containing carbohydrate, right now, because glucose is a type of carbohydrate, right? So that will be called as translocation, and this will be happening via this will be happening in the phloem or xylem. We have learned about phloem now, that it would be carrying the food. So it takes place via, still not getting it. It takes place via phloem now. Okay, raise your hands if you guys have got this concept so far. If anyone has any doubt, please let me know.
Sir, I have read out like this concept is confusing.
It's confusing for you. Okay,
Yes.
no worries. See, the simple thing is that try to understand it in this manner. See, say we have a plant over here, and think of xylem and phloem as two pipes, two different pipelines. Think of it in that manner. Say that this pipe is being called as xylem. Okay, this is being called as xylem, and there's another pipe that we are calling as phloem. Everyone pay attention to this, that we're calling as phloem. Okay, so say that this one is phloem, the one in the pink color, and here we have got leaves, and this one is roots. See, why the first pipe? That's a xylem. The water would be flowing via the xylem to different parts of the plant, but in unidirection, in the upward direction only. Getting it, everyone, so far? In the upward direction only. And why it moves in the upward direction? Because we know that from the surface of the leaves, transpiration is happening. Transpiration is taking place, and that transpiration creates an upward pull, creates a suction force. Due to that suction force, the water would be moving in the upward direction. Just think of it in this manner, like you are sipping via a pipe, you are sipping something, you are sipping milk or cold drink. Let us say So due to a suction pull, you are able to sip the drink. Yes or no? Via the straw, you are basically creating an upward pull, upward suction, and that's how you're able to drink you're able to drink different things. So think of it in the similar manner that this transpiration creates a suction pull in the upward direction, because of which xylem would be water would be flowing in the xylem. So far it is clear, Fatima, particularly you? Yes, please do confirm this, or only will be moving to the next topic.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then talking about phloem, we know that leaves would be preparing the food via the process of photosynthesis, and they prepare glucose. Glucose is immediately converted into sucrose, by the way. Anyways, these are the carbohydrates basically, right? These are basically carbohydrates. So the need of the food is by every part of the plant, whether it be root or whether it be the shoot system. The food would be required everywhere. So this phloem, which is another pipe-like structure, it would be carrying the food in the downward direction, because roots also requires the food, and it would be carrying the food in the upward direction also wherever it would be required. So that is the simple concept over here. And this movement of the food materials via the phloem, that has been termed as translocation. That has been called as translocation. Hope it is clear. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Some of you always remain silent in the class, like Abu Bakr particularly, Suleiman. Hmm. Please be, and Aman, you also. Please be active in the class. Okay. Try to be active in the class. And talking about transpiration, that is another way how plants should be getting rid of the waste produced in their body. So transpiration, you guys would have learned about this previously also. So anyways, transpiration is basically the process. It's basically the process, like the water that you're providing to the plants. It's not 100% of the water is being absorbed by the plants, is being utilized by the plants. So whatever extra water is there in the plant's body, they need to get rid of that extra water now. So sometimes what happens, all the water is not utilized. So extra water, plant needs to get rid of it. Or there are some toxic substances in their body, plants also need to get rid of those toxins. So this loss of water would be taking place in the plant's body via the process of transpiration, where we know that inside in the surface of the leaves there are guard cells. There are guard cells, and in between the guard cells there is a small opening that is called a stomatal opening. What do we call this as? Stomatal opening. So due to the heat of the sunlight, what happens? The water that the plants would be absorbing from their roots, so that water via the xylem will go all the way up to this stomatal opening, from where the water will be lost in the form of water vapor. So that is the whole concept of transpiration. It's the loss of water from the surface of the leaves, right? And talking about the stomata are basically the tiny pores present on the surface of the leaves that is responsible for allowing the escape of, or allowing the plant to get rid of water vapor. Not just water vapor. You guys know that stomata also allows the movement of gases through it, right now. So transpiration is resulting in getting rid of extra amount of water. Another thing is that, remember the sweat gland, how sweat gland allowed the body to cool down. It was regulating the temperature of the body, maintain the normal temperature of the body. In the similar manner, this transpiration, which is also basically here also what is happening, evaporation of water is taking place from the plant. So that also helps in cooling down the plant. So as the water would be evaporating from the plant's body, so that utilizes the heat of the plant. For evaporation, heat is required or not? Please let me know. For
Yes,
evaporation,
sir.
heat is required. So in our body, while evaporation, while sweating happens, so for evaporation of water to take place from the surface of our skin, it requires some heat. So where do they get the heat from? Where does it get the heat from? It gets the heat from the skin. So thereby makes our body cool. In the similar manner, in the case of the plants also, the evaporation of water from the leaf surface requires some heat. So they would be getting that heat from the surface of the leaves. In that manner, they helps in cooling down the plant. So is that concept clear so far to everyone or not? Please let me know. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So talking about role of transpiration in the plant. The first thing is that it makes the plant rid of extra waste. So plants get rid of extra water and toxic waste. Why this? Another thing is that, remember moments ago we were learning about this thing that transpiration creates a suction pull. So thereby it would be resulting in absorption of water also. The absorption of water via the roots would be taking place because of transpiration also. So as the water from the leaves of the would be evaporating, as the water from the surface of the leaves would be evaporating, so that generates a suction pull. As we have learned, it generates a suction pull in the upward direction. Now getting it? So this suction pull would be bringing the water from the roots in the upward direction. This suction pull created due to transpiration brings the water in the upward direction. Hence, the transpiration helps in absorption of water too. Getting it, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And the last thing we learned, that helps in cooling down the body of the plant. Cooling down the plant body. Because in summer season, due to the scorching heat, the plants might also die. So it is because of transpiration that plants are able to survive. Okay, no? And we have also learned this thing, that we know about this thing, that plant the stomata present on the surface of the leaves does gaseous exchange also. So for the process of photosynthesis, they would be taking in carbon dioxide, water, and glucose would be prepared, and water would be lost. I mean to say, oxygen would be the gas released in the process of photosynthesis, and the thing that goes out from the stomata is water also, in the form of water vapor that happens in the process of transpiration. So carbon dioxide enters while water and oxygen exits through the leaves stomata. So hope you guys have understood this so far. And here basically we have concluded the chapter. If anyone has any doubts so far, please let me know. The chapter, if anyone happen to have any doubt, please let me know. Suleiman, Fatima, Aman, Abu Bakr, and Priyanka.
No, sir.
Okay. Another important thing is that for those of you who have got their half-yearly exam syllabus, make sure to share it with the Learnivio team as soon as possible. Okay, now?
Yes, sir. Where are we supposed to write it in the group chat?
The answers, yeah, in the chat.
Yeah.
Okay, no? So question number 1, question number 2. Everyone will start answering it. And for those of you who would not be taking part in the class discussion in this, particularly in the questions, discussion of the questions, I would be reporting those students to the Learnivio team. Okay, so which of the following cells gets activated during bleeding? In the chat box, just write the option number. No need to write the whole option, no, or the sentence. Everyone have to answer on this ID.
Sir, in the options, sir, there's no Sohail. There's only MD Sohail Khan.
Okay, that's the problem. Okay.
Sir, I have messaged in Muhammad Sani.
Okay. Anyways, do one thing. I'm going to assign the question. That happens when I'm not assigned the co-host of the meeting. That problem happens then. Okay, no. Anyways, so the first question, Priyanka, you answer this one. Priyanka and Abu Bakr, you guys will be answering. I will listen to both of your answers. These two, Suleiman and Fatima, you'd be answering. Aman is left now. Aman would be doing the question number 3. Yeah, quickly.
Sir,
Yeah, I'm listening.
for the first one, is